Hello, YouTube and DigiFam. This is Prodigious back at it again. We got another deck profile that I want to share with y'all today. Now, last time we went over Blue Metal WarGreymon X, so I thought, why not? Let's go ahead and cover his counterpart. And that is going to be the Red Raid WarGreymon X. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, now for this deck, I recommend running the Digi-Egg of Koromon from BT5. Now he has, when attacking once per turn, this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, draw a card. You could also run the Koromon from BT14. That strictly just says that when a card is removed from your opponent's security, draw a card. Either one would work, but for this version I'm going to stick with the Koromon from BT5. Just because I want just more consistent draw just when I attack in general, because when I attack, I'm not always going to be attacking into my opponent's security. I'll be attacking into some Digimon every once in a while with Raid. Now, moving on, we're going to definitely run at least 4 copies of Agumon X Antibody from BT9. Now, what he offers us is on play and when digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Greymon or Omnimon in its name, and 1 X antibody among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. And of course, he does Evo on top of your level 2 egg for free. He can also Evo on top of a regular Agumon for free as well. Next, we are running 4 copies of the Agumon promo card. This is P-009, but he is also available from I forget the name of it. It is basically the reprint set. R something booster. The name escapes me at the moment. It'll come back to me later. I guarantee it. But anyway, RB1-004 is its ID number because it's available through that as well. Now, what this card does is, of course, it's free to hard play, free to Evo on top of level 2. No real effect on it. But it does have an inheritable of, while this Digimon has Greymon in its name, it gets plus 2000 DP. So that's always good. I'm running 4 copies of Agumon from the starter deck 15. This normally Evos on top of a level 2 black egg, but it also says it can Digivolve for free from a Koromon egg for free. So, with that being said, we're not afraid to mix some colors in this deck. Yeah, start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory, as well as the inheritable of all turns once per turn when an attack target is switched, gain a memory. Alright, next I'm running 3 copies of Greymon X Antibody from BT9. No real effect on it, it just Evos on top of a Greymon for 0. You can also Evo it like a normal champion for a cost of 2 on top of a rookie. Its inheritable is all turns when this Digimon, or while this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name and an effect would delete it or return it to hand or deck, you may trash 2 cards at the same level in this Digimon's Digivolution card to prevent it from leaving play. So he's going to give us some protection. Next, I do splash in at least 2 copies of Greymon from the first starter deck. No effect on it, just evos on top of a rookie red level 3 for 2. It does have the inheritable of Security Attack +1. Next, I am running 4 copies of the Greymon from starter deck 15. Normally evos on top of a black rookie for 2, but it can also just evo on top of an Agumon in name for a cost of 2. It has a security effect that says you may play 1 Agumon or 1 Tamer card with Tai Kamiya in its name from your hand or trash without paying the cost. It also has blocker. It also has the inheritable of all turns once per turn. When an attack target is switched, gain 1 memory. Now, last but not least, we are running a single copy, because it's all we're allowed to play with it being restricted, of Greymon X Antibody from BT11. Now, this is the virus version that goes for the Black WarGreymon archetype. It can evo from a red or black rookie for a cost of 3, or it can evo on top of a Greymon for 0. He has your turn. When this Digimon would digivolve into a card with Greymon in its name, reduce the cost by 1 for each of that card's colors. So just a nice way to go ahead and just reduce the Digivolution cost when we go into our ultimate level 5s. He also has the inheritable of when this Digimon with Greymon or Omnimon in its name would be deleted or returned to the hand or deck by an effect by placing 1 X Antibody, the option card, from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck, prevent that Digimon from leaving play. So just another form of protection. Next, moving on to our ultimates, we are running 4 copies of the Metal Greymon, also from the Starter Deck 15. Normally evos on a level 4 black for 3, but it can also evo on top of a Greymon in name for a cost of 3. It has blocker, and then last, it just has an inheritable of Security Attack +1. Now, we're also running 4 copies of the Metal Greymon from BT12. It can evo on a black level 4 for 4, or evo for 3 from a Greymon level 4 in name. It has raid, which means that when this Digimon attacks, you may switch the target of attack to one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with the highest DP. And then it has all turns, once per turn. When an attack target is switched, you may play 1 black or red Tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying the cost. He also has the inheritable of, while this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in name, it gains Piercing, which will be very important. Alright, now we are running 4 copies of WarGreymon from BT12. You can evo on top of a level 5 black for 4, or 3 from a Metal Greymon in name. He has a raid mechanic again. He has when digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP and gains Reboot. It also has all turns once per turn. When an attack target is switched, unsuspend this Digimon. So as you can see, we're going for the raid version. We have a decent selection of various inheritables that we could have. Like we have the ability to make us go ahead and gain memory when an attack target is switched. We have the ability to boost our DP. We have security attack. We have piercing. We have another security attack. So we have quite the assortment of inheritables that will go hand in hand with that raid effect. Because if we get a good enough stack going, we can have like piercing and security attack to go with that raid. If we build up really well, we can have protection on top of that. Now our next final form here is going to be the WarGreymon X Antibody from BT9. He normally costs 4 Digivolve on top of a level 5 red, or he can Digivolve for a cost of 1 on top of a WarGreymon. All turns, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, gain a memory. End of the attack once per turn. If WarGreymon or X Antibody is in its Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. So you could actually set up a nice line of whatever abilities you want, go into raid, you swing, you use raid, you unsuspend. Before you swing again, you could go ahead and slap X Antibody, which of course we're running, and then in the middle of your attack, you can choose to use raid again, but then also Evo into WarGreymon X. And now all of a sudden you're hitting your opponent's Digimon, you're piercing, possibly with security attack plus. You're still getting to gain memory from possibly switching attack targets, but definitely from just WarGreymon X's ability. And at the end of the turn, you get to blow up something else on board. So just the whole sweep of all the good stuff. You get control, you get aggression. Now we're going to go into our tamers. I'm running a single copy of this Tai Kamiya from BT1. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set to 3. Your turn, all your red Digimon with 4 or more Digivolution cards gain security attack plus 1. So again, just more aggro. Then I'm running 3 copies of Tai Kamiya from BT14. He has start of your turn, one of your Digimon with the vaccine trait gets plus 2000 DP. So that's going to work on everybody except for our one Greymon X Antibody. Then we also have when a card is removed from my opponent's security stack, by suspending this tamer, gain a memory. So also just very good generic stuff. I'm also running 2 copies of Tai Kamiya that came from the Start at 15. It's also a memory fixer, so start your turn if you're at 2 or less, set to 3. All turns ability of when an attack target is switched, by suspending this tamer, you draw a card and then one of your Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Then last, I'm also running 2 copies of Tai Kamiya from BT12. He offers start of the main phase and on play, one of your Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name gets 1000 DP and gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. He also says on your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon card with Greymon or Omnimon in its name, by suspending this tamer, gain a memory. So just all generically very strong stuff. Now, as you've already seen, we are running a single copy of X Antibody. It's not super important that we have it. That's only because our X Antibody line only goes as far as our level 4s. If we actually kept it up for like our level 5s as well as our level 6s, then it might be more important to run maybe another copy of it. But since we kind of stop and switch to just regular Metal Greymons, it's not as important. You could also make the debate to swap out one of these Metal Greymons for a X Antibody variant. If you did, I would not fault you for it. I just like the idea of running the piercing one for certain, and my secondary option was to actually go with this guy because he has blocker as well as a non-conditional security attack plus. Alright, now we're also taking a page from Black WarGreymon's playbook and we're running Hades Force. This is a card that a lot of decks that are heavy on tamers just dread. When you would use this card, if you have a Digimon with X Antibody in its Digivolution cards in play, reduce the cost by 2, so it only becomes a 5 cost. Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers whose combined play costs are less than or equal to the play cost of one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name, and delete all of the chosen cards. Then, one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name may attack a player. So, very strong, very good board removal, and allows you to get a shot in even if the memory would pass to your opponent. And now finally, as you may have seen in the previous video, I am running not 2 but 3 copies this time of a card to help us warp Digivolve. That is the Dragon of Courage option card. It's 4 cost to play. While you have a Tamer with Tai-Kami in its name, you may ignore its color requirements. Main effect is by placing Greymon and a Metal Greymon from your trash under one of your Agumon as bottom Digivolution cards, you can Digivolve into a WarGreymon in your hand without paying the cost, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. The security effect is you may play one Agumon from your hand or trash without paying the cost, and then add this card to your hand. So why are we running this card? As I said before, twofold. It's great for getting a body back on board and adding it to your hand, because this Raid WarGreymon is just so good at what it does. And we've already gone over how we have all kinds of awesome inheritables that we can choose from. So we can take either one of these 2 Agumons, either the plus 2000 DP inheritable, or the gain of memory when a target is switched, and then we can basically just make whatever inheritables we want while going into this with the option card. We can double up on the whole raid mechanic, switching gain memory thing. We can go for a combination of that, but then focus on, like, say, security attack, security attack. I mean, there's just lots of combinations that we can do right here. But anyway, that has been it for this deck profile. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you like the versatility and somewhat toolboxy ability of WarGreymon. As a lot of people have claimed, it seems like Digimon a lot of times is the Agumon / Greymon card game. I kind of agree. I wish we could get some more support in terms of the Agumon Garurumon line. But anyway, he is still Greymon, and he does what he does best, and he smashes face. This has been Prodigious. If you like this kind of content, please again help the channel grow by hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Give the video a like, and I will see you in the next one.